Welcome, curious friends. My name is Dr. Binay Kumar. I am a MD and a triple board certified physician. My passion is to help people get well, not just have a controlled diabetes, controlled high blood pressure, or heart failure with 10 to 20 pharmaceutical pills, but heal their bodies. My expertise includes lifestyle medicine, obesity medicine, longevity, wellness preservation in young people, and even disease reversal. I provide online consultation services. Today we are going to talk about what does our resting heart rate tell about our health. This story is very interesting. It will not only entertain you, but may help heal your body. So let's start. Basically, healthy people have more efficient heart. So in each beats, it is able to pump more blood, and in result, it doesn't have to beat that often. On the opposite, every 10 beats per minute increase in heart rate is associated with 10 to 20% increase in the risk of premature death. For example, if Sam's heart rate is 60 and Adam's heart rate is 90, that predicts a significantly higher risk of sudden cardiac death for Adam compared to Sam. Most of us have some kind of heart rate monitor, Apple Watch or whatever companies. You know, even if you don't have that, just put your finger on your pulse and count it for 60 seconds while you're resting. And there you have your resting heart rate. Did you know your resting heart rate as a health marker? If you did know your resting heart rate, are you happy that it is in the low zone, or are you concerned that it is high and you are working actively to make it lower? Please let me know. It is also one of those things where doctors don't pay too much attention unless your heart rate is lower than 50 or higher than 100. This principle applies at so many places in our health, right? Because most healthcare providers consider heart rates up to 100 to be normal. Science disagrees with that. Heart rate up to 100 may be normal in a culture where dropping dead at a young age from heart disease is another normal. Studies tells us that people with no apparent evidence of heart disease with a pulse of 90 may have 5 times higher risk of sudden cardiac death than people with lower heart rates, even though they have no apparent heart disease. This increased risk is like you are smoking cigarette. So, how can we benefit from this knowledge? To benefit from this knowledge, we need three things. First, what is your resting heart rate in current state of health? Second, if it is high, we must find out why your resting heart rate is high. And third and last, we need to know what tools can you use to lower down our resting heart rate. So let's discuss what are the tools we can use to lower down our resting heart rate if it is high. Number one, you may have heard that physically fit people, athletes have, lower resting heart rate. So of course exercise is a no-brainer. Studies tells us that just 12 weeks of aerobic exercise regimen can drop your resting heart rate from 69 to 66. That's a drop of 3 beats per minute. To clarify the obvious fact, of course, this effect lasts as long as you stay active. Is there another way to drop your resting heart rate? Does science have an answer? Well, You probably have heard this saying, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Here is another twist of this old maxim: pulses to control pulse. Confused? Let me explain. Pulses is another name for seed like all different beans, chickpeas, lentils, split peas, etc. They are nutritional powerhouses, one of the highest food in fiber. And as a bonus, legumes are one of the best foods you can eat to have the happy microbiome in your colon. A randomized controlled trials of beans in diabetics showed that not only did participants improve their diabetes significantly, but also, as a side effect or a bonus, dropped their resting heart rate by 3.4 beats per minute. But I wonder why. You are not exercising. How does it is helping your heart relax? Well, I don't know exactly, but if I have to make a scientific guess, I will say probably by making our microbiome more healthier. We know that microbiome is a big factor in our health. Remember how 12 weeks of aerobic training reduced resting heart rate by 3? So this effect is even bigger than that. Really interesting stuff. Number 3, are you curious? What are other ways of telling your heart to chill? Before I start the next method, let me remind you a little anatomy of body mind connection. Our heart and gut is connected to brain through a long nerve called vagus nerve. So our heart and gut can talk to brain, and our brain can talk back to our heart and gut through this nerve called vagus nerve. Let's get back to the next method to slow down our resting heart rate. It is common knowledge. Stress, flight or fight response increase heart rate. So living a peaceful and low stress life result in low resting heart rate by vagus nerve. Meditation, yoga fits right here. And this is one of the ways yoga and meditation practices are good for us. A side note on yoga: during inhalation, our heart speeds up. And on the contrary, during exhalation, our heart slows down. So, if you focus specially on prolonging and slowing down your exhalation, you will specially notice a calming effect on your body through vagus nerve. I tell my patients many times, to use a small straw for exhalation that forces you to slow down your breathing. Some people also know vagus nerve as parasympathetic nervous system. It is, so important that yogis and meditators spend their lifetime perfecting and mastering their vagus nerve or parasympathetic autonomic nervous system for well-being, for, feeling of calm. And that is why I think heart rate is not just a number. It is a marker of overall state of your body. It is, such a fascinating topic and a long topic that I will have to make an extremely long video on that. If you guys are interested on learning more about parasympathetic nervous system and how to master it, please let me know in the comments below. Number 4, warmer the temperature, faster your heart beats. Because in warm weather, skin blood vessel opens up and the heart effectively must pump more blood to those blood vessels. For example, on a hot summer day, the heart may have to circulate 2 to 4 times more blood compared to a cool day of a spring. So, heart needs to pump faster, Also, to produce sweat and cool off the body. Number 5, the heat brings the next point, dehydration. Dehydration makes your heart beat faster because there is less blood volume available due to dehydration, and still the same number of about 35 trillion cells to be fed. So reduced volume of blood has to be circulated more fast. It has to make more rounds of the body to ensure survival of body, especially the vital organs like brain, heart, etc. So the bottom line is to stay hydrated and avoid a prolonged exposure to very hot weather, especially if you have a heart problem. Number 6, omega 3s. Many of you know that DHA or EPA are the long chain essential omega 3 fatty acids. Our body cannot make them. We need to get through our diet or supplements. Why I'm talking DHA and EPA? Because there is evidence that it can slow down your heart. It reduces the excitability of muscle fibers of heart. So people who eat fish can get their DHA and EPA through their diet. But people who do not eat fish can take vegan DHA EPA supplements. I will suggest 300 milligrams or higher doses. Vegan supplements may, I will argue, be even better than eating fish because fish also come with several environmental pollutants like mercury, microplastics, PCBs, dioxins. The list is long. Yes, my friends, we have polluted our vast oceans. And number 7, and the last one, stimulants like caffeine, cigarettes, they increase our resting heart rate. So when you consume nicotine, when you smoke a cigarette, your arteries become smaller and narrower, and the heart must do extra work to pump blood through that narrow space. The good thing is, though, quitting smoking starts helping your heart relax within 20 minutes. So that's it for today, my friends. So I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and please subscribe to my channel. That will help me bring more content and will help me reach to you. And if you have any specific question, please let me know. But before making any changes in your lifestyle or medication based on this content, please consult your doctor. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes. Until then, goodbye. Namaste.